Well, I think the deck is stacked against everyone to some degree because life is very difficult and we all die. So, but some people do have it harder than others. And all of us have it very hard at some times in our lives. It's like, well.
Hey team, how we going? It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and today's topic is Jordan Peterson, a man that brought a fire, stamped on it, created embers. Through what? Through BAM, the book, 12 Rules to Life. This book is the ember because it's spread from the fire, antidote to chaos, and can be taken anywhere as a source material. So someone says, what you're saying to me I don't agree with, where'd you hear that from? If you say it's from the internet, people are going to go, oh yeah, everything's on the internet. That's a buck, isn't it? Let's pass that buck. Boom. My source is this book. And guess what? I've met the man personally. I've shaken his hands. I've looked in his eyes. I've heard him talk. I've seen his emotion. I've seen his energy. And I saw the energy of those that turned up that said, stop telling me what to do. Stop telling me what I can't say. Be yourself, I'll be myself. Let's find out what the middle ground is. Let's take it up a notch and turn ourselves into a brick. The best strong brick we can. So that when we build a wall together, civilization, community, the country can be based on all different bricks that make up a hardy, strong wall. That's what I reckon it's about. When I went and saw Jordan Peterson, what I expected to see was a celebrity. What I turned up and saw was a man that had intelligence mixed with wisdom slapped together to make a laser beam of truth. And what vouched for that truth was not just his words or his demeanor or his personality or his pauses. It said more than his words. It was the people that turned up. When I saw people around me, professionals, old, young, guys with their wives, guys with their girlfriends, joining in together for a message to understand, to make the best version of them. When people say to you, well, tell me about Jordan Peterson, I've never heard of him. What can you say? Do you say Ben Shapiro? Do you say Joe Rogan? Do you say Milo Yiannopoulos? Or do you say none of the above, Sam Harris? No. You say it's Jordan Peterson. Check it out. But you've met him individually. So when someone says, oh, where'd you find this shit out from? You're not just saying, oh, I saw it on the internet. You're saying, boom, antidote to chaos. Chaos, I'm Kaz. I'm not always right, but I'm trying my hardest not to tell you what you can't do. For 24 years, I carried a weapon so that people in Australia could lead their lives. I defended the outside of the shore while the police look after the inside. You've got to have a little bit of structure in your life. Okay? And the structure shouldn't be about chaos, should it?
What really motivated me to come tonight, obviously with my sister here, was that a lot of the content that I'd seen online of his spoke to me in a way that I knew it was true, but no one had ever articulated it that way before, and it really just resonated with me. So that's something that I had to come and see in person.
I think Jordan Peterson articulates very well what a lot of people think this day and age. There's something not quite right with the way the world's going.
I like listening to Dr. Peterson's content is that he has this way of illuminating the truth, but not sugarcoating the truth. So you feel like you're eating veggies, kind of like you feel like it's good for you. Like,
Yeah, you've actually taken the physical and monetary step of turning up here tonight. Yep. What does this do to physically change as a next step in this you tomorrow?
It's that reinforcement, so you get that knowledge and then you get that reinforcement from hearing it, and it's just that extra connection you get. It makes that emotional connection as well as that mental connection that you get from the videos.
I saw people from the LGBT community. I saw people that were long road truckers from Northern Territory. G'day, Monica. I saw Alex, a religious fella. And I saw a gentleman called Ivan that was wearing too much black. All fantastic people. There is no way you could have put all those people into one box except that a Jordan Peterson, I've had enough of being told what I can't say crowd. It was goddamn great. If you're watching right now, subscribe right now to the channel that can get back to you in comments, that can communicate to you via phone. I do care what you think, and I won't tell you what you can't say. Unless what you can't say is telling me what I can't say. Does that make sense? Not really.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
From a lady's point of view.
I just think that people are crying out for his message, what he's saying, and it really resonates with people.
But it makes you feel like, yes, I always knew that, but no one had ever articulated that, or I've never heard anyone say that properly before. So hearing him say things that are true makes you feel like normal, like you kind of know what you're doing, and it gives you like...
Yeah, I encourage all my friends, like my friend that helped me organise the tickets for tonight, to stop being quite so agreeable and actually start standing up for what we believe, why we believe it, because it's ultimately for the best purpose for humanity, about trying to take humanity to a much higher level.
Who else was it that leads you as your main mentors in your studies?
Oh, okay. So my big influences would be some of the psychoanalysts like Sigmund Freud, Melanie Klein, but most of all, Carl Jung, absolute favourite.
When we asked his lovely wife whether she needed a chaperone back to her hotel so she didn't have to sit there for 5 hours, well, guess what? She said no. Australia seems like a pretty safe place. I'd have walked back by myself. Well done to her. Okay, living the dream. Jordan Peterson came to Australia, and hopefully he goes home thinking, I am on the right path, because I know he is. I've been to shitloads of countries with a gun in my hand. And that's all because people aren't a brick. They're not the best version of themselves. They're connected to ideologies and rough trips in life. We're going to have those. I'm living them every single day. But this is not about making excuses for ourselves. It's about picking ourselves back up. It's about resilience. Because if you only baby people, guess what? They're going to go backwards. And remember, the two things I took away was hope. Hope that people care, people are listening, and people are monitoring what's happening in this country. And also, leadership. When you go to see Jordan Peterson in person to find out the calibre of the man, unedited. Time out, unedited. When you go and see the man face to face, he shakes your hand, unedited, you get to see the conviction that he has in the cause. He didn't come as a celebrity, he came as a man with a message. Celebrity and financial benefits have come his way by the belief in others. And when you see the intellectual and the ground level individuals that come to see him, you too can make a better version of yourself. It's not too late, as long as you do start. I also saw leadership. I saw people from all avenues of life who came and physically paid, didn't just watch a YouTube video, didn't just buy a book, they went and physically saw it for himself. I didn't see a single protester. I didn't see a single disagreement. What I saw was people nodding their head, people standing up and people clapping like it was a goddamn cult, but it's not a cult. It was just the truth. And people were happy to hear it. Jordan Peterson has changed my life in a way that makes me look internally. But he was only 50% of it. The other 50% was the people that turned up. The conversations I had with those that were there. Whether it be Monica and her lovely partner, long bloody road train truckers from Northern Territory, there's no politics up there, to all of the people that I had special conversations with. It was fantastic, and you were the other 50% of the hope, the leadership that I saw of the people that said, not on my watch, I'm going to go and arm myself intellectually so that I can be the best version of myself. And what was beautiful was there was couples that were there together. So it wasn't one person then trying to go home and then brainwash or filibuster the other person. It was a really terrific experience. If you're in Brisbane right now, the next episode is on the 16th. You're in for a treat. I was there for both nights. Jordan Peterson does not turn up with a script. He turns up and he speaks about the 12 chapters. Each day was different. Sitting on the lounge with him, listening to him communicate was fantastic. And you know what? Jordan Peterson says more sometimes with his pauses than what he says with his words. He doesn't bluster along. He takes a tactical pause, reconstructs and delivers. But when he does it, he also brings in emotion. Beautiful event. All possible because of true Arrow events. And that's led by Sam. Photo here. Thanks, Sam. And thanks, Jordan, and thanks for the crowd. It was one of the most pleasurable experiences of my life. And I'm happy to throw this back to you and let you know that I'm now working on being the best version of me. And it didn't come, I wish you had it come sooner. I really do. You're in for a treat. Go watch his videos. If you're in jail, break out and go and watch his videos. That's Kaz in the trenches, saying thank you to all.
When you dive into it, it's just like, wow, why isn't anyone else like thinking about it in this way?
Watch his YouTube lectures, but really listen to them. I mean, you've got to. They're not a quick thing to listen to, and sometimes takes you a little while to. I rewind it, I go over it, I think about it, I stop. Might watch it again. But when you hear what he has to say, in your gut, you know it's true. You understand what he's saying, even though they're complex and deep subject matter. You know it is true. It just feels true. You feel it with your being, and it feels right and the right way to go.